Caution, this is a very long video. Fast forward is your friend. And this is after I spent more than 3 hours cutting it down to the length that it is now. Well, it's Monday the 28th. And theoretically, this is the day I should get my RV back out of the shop. If you don't know, I hit a deer coming back from the Norton rally. It's been there for 6 weeks. And they tried to total it, but I really worked hard to get them to get the insurance company to agree to fix it, because I'd put a lot of effort into making an older RV really nice. I mean, a whole lot of really nice went into that little bitty B plus RV that I bought after I sold the big RV. And so I really like it. So they finally agreed to go ahead and fix it, even though totaling it out would probably have been the right thing to do. But I like that RV, so hopefully I should get it back. Well, theoretically it was supposed to be today. We'll see what happens. So this is Dead Fred up on the lift, and as I said yesterday, he comes down now. I've got parts ordered for him. Missing parts that I found when I went to put him back together. It's a long story. See the previous videos. This poor bike has just been through a tough life. So he's coming down to go back into stasis, and this beautiful, gorgeous 75 here is going back up on the lift for basically the same reason as Fred being there now. There is a leak behind the primary that we have, the owner has traced to the shifter shaft on this left shift 75. So I'm going to yank the primary off and scope it out, make a list of parts, and let's see how fast I can get a primary off of a 75, having done it one time before, but it was in the last few days. So let's see if the experience of doing Fred helps me get this one all disassembled in a more expeditious manner. Okay, so here we go. Start a day. I'm going to put this guy on the lift and see what happens. Oh, isn't that lovely? It is the most original stock set 75. It's just freaking gorgeous. I think I'm going to refer to it as beauty. Yeah, I'm just gonna, in future videos, I will just refer to beauty. Isn't it gorgeous? Just beautiful. Let's just do a quick walk around. It's 5 after 8, and I'm just getting started. So we'll see how long it takes me to yank the primary off. All the way off, all the way off. Oh my goodness, look at how pretty this bike is. Boy, oh boy, he has done just gorgeous work. I can't take any credit for the attractiveness of this bike. It is just beautiful. Okay, so here we go. Going to yank the primary off. Okay, I'm going to set the camera up from this angle to try to keep my own hairy self out of the video as much as humanly possible. We'll see how that works. Okay, here we go. Have I missed any? Nothing worse than trying to take a primary off, finding out that you missed a bolt. This is just a blade out of a box cutter. Oh, it doesn't look like there's a gasket in there. Makes you wonder if that oil was just leaking out of the lid. If I truly don't find a gasket here. Nice and clean. And the oil goes everywhere. Kevin would be so proud of me. Okay, now remember the controversy about Fred's shifter shaft having the little bump on the bottom? Well, this one does too. So that's stock original, and reasons unknown. But I'll bet you it's some type of afterthought engineering. Like in, boy, I wish we'd ordered these things a quarter of an inch longer, and that solved the problem. Afterthought engineering. A lot of that happens. Okay. I'm not going to clean the gasket off now. I'm just going to go ahead and empty everything. That'll make it easier to take apart. And then to clean the gasket afterwards. Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. One of these has got to go. First thing I'm going to do is something I forgot. I'm going to take the fuse out of the bike. Always remove the fuse. Now, once again, I stock Lucas bullets, so I have absolutely no hesitancy in cutting these alternator wires and pulling them out. You're also fighting the magnetism. I don't know if you can see this thing pulling back in as I pull it out, but it's the magnetism of the magnet here that's holding it in place. And pulling it back. There. Okay, one alternator. Now I will check continuity. If you get continuity through the two wires, but not to the body, then it's a good alternator. All right. Let's just take off these two big ones here. Okay, that's not going to happen. I'll see if this will break free. Don't have a lot of hope. Let's see, I'd have to jam this guy up pretty good. So I'm going to take all of this out of the way so I can put a lock on that gear to get that big bolt off. Come on. Why is it always the bottom one? Hardest to get to. That refuses to come off. It's jammed up against something. All right, there you go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ram-a-dam-a-ding-dong. Okay. All right, the big bracket comes off. I don't think it's caught on that. Oh, this whole, no, that's okay. Oh, my goodness. All right. Rotor has to come off first. Sorry. Doggone it. That means I have to lock this to turn that. There's no way of getting in there and locking it. I don't believe. Doggone it. Why'd they do that? The little tabs just to stop you from taking that off first. Can't say I understand. Okay. So I'm going to lock the clutch here to take that off there. Well, I'm going to cut it off right now for a moment. I'm going to go watch the video I did on Dead Fred, find out what I did to lock all this up so I can get that nut out of there. Because it ain't coming out. I'll be back in a while. Maybe a cup of coffee. Well, I went and checked Fred's video. And don't you know, all I did for Fred was put the socket on here, use the impact tool, and it came right off. I didn't have to jam it at all. So let's just for grins take the impact tool again. Let's put a brand new battery in it. Nice freshly charged battery. That'll give me full smacking power. Ain't never gonna happen. Why do I make things harder than they have to be? What I really should do is go back and edit out about the last half hour of me messing around with this stuff. But I'm not going to. I make a mistake, I publish it. Let's just see if this will come off. Happy duty. Oh, how sweet it is. All right. All right, that comes off. Key comes out. Big washer comes off. Put all that together. Bracketry comes off. Okay. This is the backfire protector. It's got a slip in here, so if it backfires, it slips, rather than breaking the starter motor. Okay. All right. This is the chain tensioner. Let's see if we can get at the puller. Let's pull that out. Let's see if a magnet will do it this time. There we go. Let's inspect it. Remember, Dead Fred's was broken. And this one's broken also. Look at that. Now, is that broken or is that part of the assembly process? Let's go look at the new one. I've got the new one over here. This is the one that came out of Dead Fred. No, this was the one that came out of Beauty here. Okay? And it's cracked right here. Now the question is that part of the manufacturing process? Is this a perfectly good Sprague clutch? Here's the new one. It's much more substantial. Look at how much stronger it is. Isn't that interesting? A lot more grabbers, shall we call them. I'm going to buy a new one of these and put it in here. I'm going to say this might be, I can go get Dead Fred's original. This might be a manufacturing deal. So I'm going to take Dead Fred's Sprague over here. Actually, I'll put this Sprague in this bike and get Dead Fred a new one, if the timing works out, okay? But anyway, let's go get Dead Fred's Sprague and take a look at that. Okay, this is the Sprague that came out of Dead Fred, and it has the same, what appears to be a break, as this one. So either they are both original and they both broke, or this is a manufacturing deal. And when they make these things, they bend this up and maybe put the little grabbers in by hand. So in any case, this original one is much less strong, shall we say, than the new one. So I'm going to replace it with a new one, either the one that I have for Dead Fred or another one. I'm going to order one right away, and then we'll see about the timing on all the parts. Okay, so interesting. Well, that was fun. It's neat to have two bikes to compare. All right, now, will this come off or do I have to pull it? Yeah, I have to pull it. Okay, once again, I go over here and I get my magic puller with the 42 sets of bolts that fit all the different sprocket holes. I'll be back. Walking back and forth in front of this camera is a bother. Okay, so here's my magic puller. Let's see. This, if you go looking for something like this, you won't find it. This was originally one of those three-legged pullers that I cut a leg off of. And it only had a hole here, so I turned it into a slot. A lot of grinding, a lot of filing. And then it bent one day, so I gave it to Richard across the street, who built it up with big heavy plates on both sides of it. So you'll never find one like this, that's for sure. All right, now we got to find two bolts, and I think it was these two with these spacers on them that fit inside this gear. Let's just see if they do. And they do. All right. So let's turn the camera over here and I'll show you how we do this. Again, if you've been watching, you saw me do this on Fred. Okay, where is the second hole? Way up here. As I recall, Fred's came off with a vengeance. Scared the heck out of me. So let's see how this one goes. All right, let's see what happens. It'll either pop off or it won't.
Well, the exact replacement start solenoid arrived this morning. I already have it on.
So you put your new starter on?
No.
Oh, that's right, just the Bendix.
All right. It may or may not come today, but
okay, hang on. All right, well, that was my my buddy Richard across the street. He's just replaced the starter solenoid on his camper truck. He knows more. He's forgotten more about automotive mechanics than I've ever known. My goodness, yeah, he's expert on everything. He even comes over here and picks out things that I don't see on bikes. You couldn't ask for a better buddy. All right, so we're getting ready to hit this guy with the impact tool to see if it'll break it loose. If not, we'll have to work harder. Okay, let's see what happens. It's the banging. It's the impact. It's the that's what does it. That was beautiful. Here's the notched spacer that goes in here, and here is the little spring that's missing from Fred. Little spring clip, C clip. Let's zoom in on that and show it to you. In here is the clip that goes around the shaft, the positioning, the clutch positioning circlip. This is the clutch positioning spacer. It fits over that circlip to make darn sure it never pops out of there. Okay? So these are what are missing from Fred. So I have to order those. Actually, I have ordered those. Okay? I think I'm going to undo these two bolts and just let the starter motor sit here while I take the panel off, the primary off. It'd be different, just something different. Okay? I'm going to put a little padding underneath of it to make sure it doesn't get scratched. Now, I could leave these 4 studs here and just pull the whole thing off. But I think I'm going to go ahead and take the studs out because they'll be in my way just slightly. You're not supposed to use the impact tool with these stud removers. So you just loosen them and do them by hand. Okay, at this point in time, the inner primary should be completely free of the of the bike. And we're ready to be lifted out of there. That's the theory. Okay, starter motor is completely clear. Okay, now let's see if we can. Hello. And there we go. There she be. Let's take a look at this front sprocket and see if it shows sign of wear. Yeah. Okay, come on down here and take a look at this sprocket. Okay, just like Fred's. This is probably the original sprocket because everything I took apart inside this primary sure looked original. And you can see how fish hooked it is. It's just worn away. And so I'm going to replace the sprocket. Okay. So, all right. At this point in time, let's see. I can go ahead and take this off, and then I can go to the other side and take the timing cover off so we can check the anti-drain down valve. Okay, so it's 9:30, and I don't remember when we started. I'll have to take a look at the video, but it's been a couple hours, and a lot of that was false start time on my fault, so I certainly won't charge for all that time. So let me take the chain off and check it, see how worn it is, and we'll take the sprocket off, and then we'll move to the other side of the bike. Once again, I did something not smart. I took the chain off the rear wheel before loosening the nut that holds the sprocket on. But the good news is I have a sprocket locker right there, short length of chain, and a old fork leg, so that'll lock it for me. Don't forget this is a left-handed thread, so I have to turn it this way as if it was going on in order to get it off. But first I got to get this little screw out of here that locks it in place. They're always tight. Okay, that did it. I will fix up the head, put it back on here with a little bit of Loctite and a very gentle. Come on. Okay, Everything gonna fight me on this bike. Okay, let's put the locker on in the other direction. Yeah. All right. Bigger breaker. Stand by. All right, I got it broken free. I was getting ready to put this bar. That's about a 4-footer. And I was getting ready to put it on the handle. But I decided to try one more time with the big breaker bar. And I got it to break free. So, if the question is, can you replace your front sprocket at home? Certainly, absolutely. All you have to do is have a big breaker bar and a great big socket. It's very deep. It'll fit over the shaft and let you get the stupid thing off. Okay. All right, and you also need some way of locking the sprocket, because I say to you, if I tried to do that by using the rear wheel to lock that sprocket, it never would have worked. It just sit there and spin the rear wheel. So anyway, this little guy, it's a section of chain, bolt through it, old fork leg, and it really comes in handy. And if you don't have anything else to do, you can use it as a lettuce tool. Okay, so it would make a reasonably good lettuce tool. And are you familiar with a lettuce tool? A lettuce tool is something that you can hold in your hand and say to somebody else, let us be reasonable. And usually they will be reasonable. So that's a lettuce tool. Okay, I'm going to do some cleaning over here. My bench is a disaster. I'm going to put all this stuff away and then go over and take the timing side cover off. I'm tired. Okay, well, I got all my tools put away, and I've got all the bits and pieces in the lid here, soaking in CRC, getting them sprayed down, soaked. Then I'll put them aside. I'll clean the old gasket material off and make this nice and bright and shiny. And I'll just take all this stuff. This is not going back on the bike. They're badly worn. This is not going back on the bike. Just on general principles, it's not broken, but it is the old original style, and it is not as strong as the new style. So we're going to put a new style on that. Over here, I want to show you something. There was a leakage you saw it on the floor, and I have not started cleaning this. I decided not to for a moment. Notice that there is no indication of oil coming down here. This seal seems to be holding just fine. I'm going to replace it anyway, but this seal seemed to be not leaking. But if you look right here, you can see the shiny oil right there coming from the shifter. Look at all the residual oil on that shifter shaft. So that's where the leak is. There's a little bit of indication it might have had a slight leak up here where the motor connects, and this O-ring is a tad bit crystallized here. I'll see if I can get a new O-ring also. So that O-ring, seal for the shifter shaft, seal for the tranny main shaft clutch assembly, and this, once again, if I can get one, I'll replace it. If not, I'll just seal it with silicone. So now while we're here, let's take a look at the tranny main shaft seal on the transmission. That's another place where we get leakage a lot. So let's go over here and take a look behind where the sprocket goes. See if we see any leakage at all. And I don't. I see a nice tight, no indication of leakage. And once again, as with Fred, I'm going to leave it. I think they must have improved something in 75, maybe. I don't know. I could look at the part numbers. But there's no leakage here, no leakage over here. Um, I'll do a little cleanup, little touch up, and that's the way it is. Huh. Okay. All right, so let me put stuff away and I'll get started on the other side of the bike. Okay, doing a quick check of the wear on Beauty's chain, and basically there isn't any. Remember yesterday I checked Fred's brand new chain and it came out at 6 inches. This one's coming out at 7. So I mean it is practically brand new, very few miles. 6, 7, 8, just fine. 8's the outer range. 9, not so good. 10, worn out. Boy, oh boy, when it comes in more than 10, it is way begoed. So right now at 7 inches deflection from a straight line, that's a really good chain. No problem at all putting that one back on Beauty. So, okay, so I'm still cleaning parts over there, and I'll come to the timing side in just a little while. All right, change of plans. It's almost 12. I started at about 8. I'm going to call that 4 hours and go do this video and post it. It's hot. I'm tired. I've cleaned up the shop and put everything away. And I was going to go over to the other side and take the timing cover off, but I'm not going to. I'm just tired. I'll do that tomorrow. And also drain the oil and put a new filter on. So oil, filter, timing case tomorrow morning. Because right now at noon, almost, otherwise described as almost noon, I'm hot, I'm tired, I need an iced coffee and something to eat, and then maybe I'll go check out my recliner and see how it works for an hour or two. So that's it for the day.